Boom. Now I got it. It's easy.
Much quicker now.
Yeah, no, we're good on that. All right, no bullshit on that one. Welcome into another episode of Tailgate Talks, brought to you, as always, I've already said this in the intro, if you're listening tomorrow, by our good buddies over at GuyBostonSports.com. Had to get re-entered into this thing, change computers and all, pain in the ass. So thank you, Evan. And we're back, man. I didn't think there would be that much to talk about, like news and notes wise, but there's a lot, and I'm happy about it.
It sneaks up on you. Just 1 week, and the NFL, you know what it is. It's a 52-week season, so.
That is a fact. It's also Masters week, and Tiger apparently looked phenomenal at practice. So please, sports guys, just let's see Tyler or Tiger.
Tiger, not Tyler.
Wow.
If he makes the cut, I don't care if it's the last spot left. It's one of the greatest sports comebacks ever.
It's going to be awesome. And he looks great. Just can he hold up for 4 days? 4, because he's going to make it.
It's a lot to ask out of him.
We'll see. But this isn't a golf podcast. This is a football podcast. So let's talk football. We're just cutting right to the fucking point today.
Quick off the dial, I just want to say real quick, congratulations to UNC and Kansas for making the final championship, and which will be a lot of fun tonight.
Oh, yeah. Coach K, it's been real, but bye. Bye. Set to toss it in. Just wanted to toss it in.
But anyway, Andy, let's get back to NFL.
All right. Let's actually start what we wanted to talk about. Surprising amount of things happened over the past week. I think we got to start with, obviously, the hometown team. The Patriots made a big trade and landed Devontae Parker, the wide receiver, former first-round pick out of Louisville from Miami Dolphins in division trade, which really only happens when it's the Patriots and the Dolphins, apparently. Just over the years, that's like one of the only ones you'll ever see. But trade details, Patriots send a 2023, so not this year, next year, third-round pick to Miami for Parker, who has 2 years, $12 million left on his contract, very reasonable, and a fifth-round pick in 2022. So we add a little draft capital this year, and, I think the main thing is we get a wide receiver who I'm not going to call Devontae Parker a number one wide receiver, but there is a little bit more of a pedigree to him, a little bit more potential, and a guy who's going to be able to catch the deep ball. Now, is he a speed guy? He's more of a size guy, but you know what? I'll take it. This Patriots wide receiver crew really needed him.
Yeah, he immediately is your best receiver. I'm hoping he can stay healthy. He had that breakout. He had that breakout year in 2019 where he kind of showed that first-round potential. And the joke with him has always been he's just about to break out. He's just about to be that guy. He's just about to get there, but never actually gets there. Maybe a change of scenery. He'll be Mac's favorite toy. That is 100% guaranteed. My only concern, and so a stat that's getting thrown out there is that he's one of the best catches in separation, without separation, or contested catches. That's what I'm trying to drive up. Excuse me.
I was going to let you get to that point.
Thank you. And all that tells me is that you don't get separation, which is not something that works well in the Patriot system, at least.
Yeah, and that is part of why he hasn't been as successful as people thought, because he was a high-round pick. I forget. I think he was I want to say, he was probably mid-teens. I want to say, somewhere like 13 to 17. 14. If you're looking it up, knew it. I was right. Yeah, I think this is it's a good value, first of all. 2 years, $12 million is a great contract. Again, we got him for a future third, so that kind of adds to Bill trying to add to this team this year, which we've talked about it. He hasn't done through free agency, so clearly he wants to try to do that through the draft and make some trades like this. So that's a good sign for Miami. I think it's actually a really good deal. You obviously got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle there, plus Mike Gesicki. You don't need Devontae Parker on that team. You move him. Obviously, he stays in the division, but it's not exactly going to the strongest team right now. And you get a future third. So next year, they're walking into the draft 2 firsts, a second, and I don't know why my hands are not working with these numbers that I'm putting out. So 2 firsts, 1 second, 2 third-round picks. If, by chance, this season you go into it, obviously Tua Tagovailoa is the starter. There's question marks about him, admittedly. Not enough where he's not going to start this year, but he's maybe about the future. If he comes out and doesn't play well, you have the artillery to go up in the draft and get C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Tyler Van Dyke, Spencer Rattler, whoever you want out of next year's crop, which looks a hell of a lot better than this year's group. Or maybe you go out and you get a disgruntled Kyler Murray who doesn't appear to be happy with the Arizona Cardinals and who still does not have a contract. So we'll see, but it benefits both teams. Patriots obviously get an upgrade now. Miami, they get assurance for the future. Worst case, a third-round pick's pretty nice.
Yeah, and on that third-round pick, we're getting a comp pick for J.C. Jackson regardless. So realistically, it was a fifth-round pick for Devontae Parker.
Not mad about that now. We can easily replace that. It's a good sign, though, for the Patriots offense. It still needs more. Devontae Parker cannot be your true number one, but he does give, again, a different element to this offense.
Yes, but, it's one of those situations where I know we want more, but we need to be happy with what just got done. I know it's a good start, keep going, but we need to give credit for actually going out and getting Devontae Parker, because that was
I'm not saying it was a bad move to go get him. I like that we went and got him. I'm not done yet. I don't think we should be done yet.
Where it's like, okay, yeah, that's great, but I want more. You're being be happy now.
I have high standards for my team. I'm sorry. What I do think is it gives us freedom to not have to take a wide receiver at 21. And thus, this is where we're going to start seeing just basically start mocking the Patriots at cornerback, whether it's a 21 or a trade back. Andrew Booth, Kyer Elam, maybe Kyler Gordon if Bill wants an athlete, maybe early in the second round. There's some options there, but you could basically pencil a corner in, or if they trade back, maybe that's where they target a linebacker. Maybe they get to the end of round 1, beginning of round 2. You can find Nakobe Dean or Devin Lloyd there. So
they're going to trade back. Where they go, I'm not sure, but I'm 100% guaranteeing that they do trade back.
They will, because the last 5 first-round picks that Bill has made, Mack, N'Keal Harry, I was listening to Move to 6 today, Isaiah Wynn, Sony Michel, Malcolm Brown. Those are the last 5, so that's going back a ways. So,
Malcolm Brown,
yeah, Bills,
geez.
Malcolm Brown. Yeah, no.
Oof.
First of all, first-round picks, it's a rough crowd. When Mack is your best guy and you wouldn't call him a star, you'd call him a starting quarterback, that's rough. He was also saying, I lost it when DJ is talking about that group. He goes, well, Sony Michel helped him win a Super Bowl. I'm like, yes, I do agree with that, and we didn't use him. But he goes, Isaiah Wynn, he's been good for them. I'm like, no, he hasn't. Get the fuck out of here, DJ. Come on, man. But good move, very significant. I do enjoy it. I do like the fact that they did that, which brings us to another trade that happened today, which I'm thankful we got to talk about. The Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles made a big one, and I'm trying to literally pull up the trade because I took a screenshot of it. There's so many picks. I just figured this would be a lot easier. But basically, the trade is – all right, here we go. So the Saints, who owned the 18th pick in the draft, they now have the 16th pick, the 19th pick, and the 194th pick in this year's draft. They get that from Philadelphia. Philadelphia gets, in return, the 18th pick. So they still have 15 and 18. So they went from 3 to 2. They get the 101st pick. They get 237, which is, I don't know what round it is, but it's late. That's 7th, yeah. The 101st is a big one. 2023, they get a first-round pick. And then 2024, they get a second-round pick. So 3 years worth of picks.
It's a great trade.
I love this deal for Philadelphia. I don't love it for New Orleans, and I'm going to tell you why. For Philly, you were going to sign 3 draft picks within the 15 to 19. That costs a lot of money. So to move out of one of those picks for a future first is huge because it's just going to save them, and they could still get 2 really good players here. What it shows for Philly is that they are confident that Jalen Hurts is going to be the starter this year and that he should do well. But this gives him leeway. If he does suck, this is the Tua situation again with Miami's deal. If he sucks, they now have the artillery to go up and get Stroud, Young, any one of those guys next year's draft or trade for another guy because they're pushing their assets out. And I really like that. I even love the 2024 second-round pick. That's a great value right there. So I like that for them because they could still do a lot of damage in this draft and really build up their roster. And then they can do a lot of moves future-wise. For the Saints, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And you know why? It's because this non-Sean Payton team, I was almost about to say it, it's Dennis Allen's man boobs, and the Saints ownership are trying to win, and they're either going to try to do it with Jameis Winston or a rookie quarterback from this bad class. You're not going to do either one of those. You might make – the only thing that I will say is they might sneak into the playoffs because the NFC is so fucking bad.
It's rough.
It's so rough. But Jameis Winston or Desmond Ridder are not going to take you to the playoffs this year. You've lost your first-round pick for next year. Yes, I've heard rumors that part of why they wanted to go up is maybe they're trying to get into Malik Willis territory. Great. I wouldn't sacrifice that much capital for him. They're also apparently they want to go up and get an offensive tackle. And with the Chargers picking at 17, one pick before them at 18, they thought we got to jump the Chargers. I get that. I don't know if it's worth it in this case. Again, with the loss of your future pick, because maybe you want to get a quarterback with that one. So I understand what they're doing, but I don't think this is a team that should be trying to aggressively win. The Saints are what they are. They have an expensive roster with no quarterback. That's what we call in the NFL fucked.
Yeah, and but they're very good at manipulating the cap. They're paying Taysom Hill more than anybody in the world right now. And I'm not sure how exactly. It's the magic sense of cap magic that I will never understand. I'll never be an NFL GM, and we'll take it from there. No, but the Eagles, do make a fantastic trade. You didn't need 3 mid-tier first-round picks. You don't need that. It's not like the Giants or Jets. We have 2 top 10 picks, which are phenomenal to have. You made the perfect example that next year in 2 of the Saints, if something goes wrong, that first-round pick next year might end up pretty high in the draft for Philly. So,
the Saints are hoping that's like going to be at the back end. It's like worst case, it's like 20.
That's worst case scenario.
Yeah,
that could legitimately be a top 10 pick that they just got back for
easily.
And then jumping from 194 to 101, so that's somewhere in the 6th, I want to say, to the 3rd round is huge. Yeah, so that's great trade for Philly. I'm not really sure what the Saints are targeting. If it is Malik Willis, you're not going to get him at 15 or 16, wherever they are. He's not going to be there.
It might be that now that they have 2 first-round picks, they might try to package that, so we'll see. I mean, Loomis has always been aggressive. We know that. He traded 2 first-rounders to get Marcus Davenport, for the love of God, which made still no sense to me at the time. A project pass rusher who's been okay, not worth 2 first-round picks.
He's been okay.
I think at the end of the day, you're going to see the Saints target, if they can get a quarterback at one of those picks, 16 and 18, great. Offensive tackle will be a big one, and then maybe wide receiver. We'll see. But, obviously they must like some guys here if they want to go up, and they probably know more than me. So I hate that I got to redo another mock.
That's right. We need the new mock now.
I know. I'll work on it. I'll get one out. We'll probably get like 1 or 2 more posted before the actual draft.
We got to do a full trade one. Every pick gets traded. Every single trade.
The live one, when we do it before then, we'll just trade every pick.
Perfect.
Jacksonville to New England, so we can select Trey McBride, number 1 overall. Matt Ariza, the punter, the punt god. It'll happen. All right, what are we talking about next? Because there's a bunch of things on here, and I don't know what order we want to go in.
So I'll go up next. So as you know, the owners' meetings taking place right now. Also, I believe they're wrapping up soon too. Maybe it's this Wednesday, one of the 2. Biggest story out of the owners' meetings, as you can get big stories, is a lot of owners are very mad at the Cleveland Browns right now for their deal given to Deshaun Watson. I mean his contract, which is 5 years, $230 million, fully guaranteed. Because essentially every single quarterback that has a contract running out is going to go that. It is officially begun. Every quarterback contract going forward. It may be short, and there may be 3 years deal now, but I can't envision non-fully guaranteed quarterback contracts for.
Someone was going to do it.
Justin Herbert. Imagine what Justin Herbert's going to get.
Joe Burrow.
Oh, it's going to be 6 years. It's going to be Mahomes' money. It's going to be 10 years, $500 million fully guaranteed. It's because you need to keep the quarterback.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely nuts, and it's just one of those things. Someone had to do it. And Cleveland did it. And you know what? That was the only way they were getting Deshaun Watson. They knew that too. They said he wants to go to Atlanta, or I think he was gonna go to Atlanta at this rate. And they came in and said, we'll fully guarantee the contract. What? I guarantee, like, David Mulugeta definitely like heard that and was just like, excuse me? We'll fully guarantee the contract.
Damn.
He's probably like, I just wanted like 150 guaranteed, but okay, yeah, 230, sure, why not?
Sure. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And I mean, would you say that in the next 5 years you're going to see all those good young quarterbacks get fully guaranteed money?
Close to, if not fully. It's just facts. I mean, if you look at Deshaun Watson, outside of obviously the big legal issues, he hasn't gotten hurt. He's been a top 5 quarterback at times. I get it. So I think that's the only – I really think the only contract hangups you're going to see in the future for guys who, play at that Herbert, Burrow, Watson level, it's just injuries. That's the only thing. That's why Joe Burrows, I think, is going to be interesting because obviously he's had some significant knee injuries in his past and even got hurt in the Super Bowl. He was fine, obviously, but like Justin Herbert, he's a warrior. He doesn't leave the field.
Well, and Lamar Jackson will be the real interesting one.
Lamar Jackson, oh man, we could do a complete segment just based on that.
What do you pay Lamar Jackson?
You pay him high value for 3 years. Eventually, I think he will settle on that because what's he going to do? He'll be paid as one of the highest paid quarterbacks on a yearly basis, but not full contract. Jesus. If you're the Ravens, you don't want to push that to 5 years.
No.
You want to keep it to 3 if you can.
Then we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one, but yes, no. Contracts will be changing forever, and Cleveland they did what they had to do to get the guy they wanted. And now everyone hates them for it. Like, literally everybody hates them for it. Like, the owners can hate him for the money reasons. Everyone else hates him for the PR reasons.
Yeah. Speaking of bad PR, I want to get to my other subject real quick, which is the Washington Commanders and Daniel Snyder, who is the most beloved NFL owner in the world right now. By the way, just a real quick conspiracy theory. I think Dan Snyder, and forgive me here, the Miami Dolphins owner, whose name is Stephen Ross. All right.
Stephen Ross.
They're both. So it's going to be Dan Snyder and Stephen Ross in the order of forcing to sell. The only reason Dan hasn't been forced to sell yet is because the Broncos are up for sale. And the NFL doesn't want multiple teams up for sale at once because then you dequalify the value and you have multiple bidders going for 2 teams instead of multiple bidders for 1 team. So
that makes sense.
Once Denver gets sold, you're going to see Dan Snyder, c'est la vie, my friend. Because the bombshell that is dropped, of all the things that Dan Snyder under management has done that have pissed off fans and people alike, the one thing that he shouldn't have done is touch the money. And that is apparently what allegedly has happened during a congressional investigation into the running of the Washington Commanders football system. There has been a whistleblower who has claimed, for those who don't know, 100% of ticket revenue, 60% goes to that NFL team for their own pie portion. So you don't have to share that. That's your money. So for the Patriots to sell it every day, Robert Kraft gets a full 60% of that revenue into his pocket for himself. Doesn't have to share. Cool. The other 40% is for team away funding. So essentially all the money, that other 40% is all put into one collective pot and then divided by 32s for everyone to evenly take. So that way it's basically majority you get your own money, 40% goes away. Now, the rule, what's being alleged is that Washington was skimming off that 40% that's supposed to go into the collective pot. Washington having one of the lowest home attendance records last year, kind of makes sense that they're trying to do what they can to save some money. And essentially, if this is proven, it's a shot in the foot. It's over for Daniel Snyder. He will be forced to sell the team.
Yeah, I think Mina Kimes put it best when, it's kind of sad that, obviously there's been a lot of sexual harassment and really some bad shit coming out of Washington's camp. Now that they've involved the money in it and profit losses for the NFL, now it's where we actually have to start paying attention.
Now the other owners are there. Now the other owners are looking at this.
I want to make it clear we wanted to pay attention beforehand, but this is probably going to be what actually pushes it over the edge.
Well, it's going to be really interesting if he does get forced, because obviously the owners can get together. I think it's like an 80% vote, whatever. can vote him the Swiss Cell team. I've been firmly convinced he has to have some real good dark secrets about the other owners. Because at this point, he still hasn't been forced to sell. He's got some dirt on somebody.
Dan Snyder, honestly, it's the over-under on when he actually is forced to sell it's got to be years out at this point.
It's just we need him out of the NFL. Like we
can get rid of Washington in general. It's just such a dysfunctional franchise at this point.
It's the perfect Bezos team. Jeff Bezos really should buy the team.
That would be wild. Our left guard is out, but we got a new one coming in prime, so he'll be here by game time.
The Washington Primes are out in the field today.
Honestly, that'd be like really fun. Imagine the color scheme too, like full change.
Cardboard color.
Hi fans, we're gonna what is it? Well, I can't think of the word I'm thinking. Rebrand, thank you. We're gonna rebrand for the 18th time in 3 years. First of all, the Commanders still sucks. I think we've talked about this. I want to say the Commodores. Don't know why.
The was great. They should have changed it.
They really should have kept it. I would have liked the what was it? The Red Hogs. That would have been a little bit fun. Like the Hogs.
The Hogs.
Can you imagine Chase Young with a Hogs jersey on?
And they just do like the thing. That's what the fans would do. You know it.
Oh, easily. Absolutely.
And then I think, Andy, there's just one more thing we got to touch on. It's
no, we got two things.
Well,
two things, man. All right,
I apologize.
The best linebacker in football signed with the team that just won the Super Bowl that now has 3 Hall of Famers on their roster. Bobby Wagner stays in the division, which is an absolute hilarious slap in the face to Seattle after they didn't even tell him they were cutting him, or he found out that he was cut from like social media. I have a point on that. I'm going to bring it up in a minute. But yeah, 5-year, $50 million deal. I saw Rappaport tweeted a bunch of things about his contract. There's different incentives and things he can back out at certain times. But anyway, he's going to be a Los Angeles Ram on the same defense as future Hall of Famers along with him. Aaron Donald, who will be back, by the way, and Jalen Ramsey. That is stupid.
That's exactly what they needed. That's exactly what they needed.
They needed a linebacker, and they added the best one in the freaking game.
And also fun little story. Did you see what number he picked?
No, I did not.
So in Seattle, his number was 54, but that was taken on the Rams, so he went to 45.
I like that. That team is. I don't know how they managed to get themselves to be better. Obviously, you lose Whitworth to retirement, and they had a couple losses around the offensive line. They'll figure that out. But you added Allen Robinson and Bobby Wagner. What?
They just have infinite. They're the Dodgers. They have infinite funds, and they just get to do what they want.
And you know what the brilliant thing about the LA Rams is? Obviously, there's the less need, fuck them picks, like T-shirts and things. They just sign these stars for the short-term deals. Von Miller's they're going to get comp picks for these guys. Like, they just get comp picks. Like, good. They have a couple third-rounders this year, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's brilliant. It's honestly brilliant. I think you're going to see the Rams are the new way of building teams, and I think a lot of teams are going to start to do it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers did a similar thing, got them a ring. The Rams did it, got them a ring. Who's going to do it who's really – we saw 18,000 teams make changes this year to put them in that conversation. I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. The Bucs and the Rams are gonna battle it out in the NFC.
Let me ask you this: did you feel more confident about the Bucs' chances repeating last year or the Rams' chances this year?
The Bucs' chances last year, and I look at it as simply quarterbacks. I think Matthew Stafford's great, and I think he's got a great team around him. But I thought Tampa Bay's roster was better, and it's Tom Brady. I'm gonna bet on him much more than I would bet on Stafford.
We love Tom.
We do. We adore him. Speaking of Tom, I think that's the point you wanted to bring up. Head coach Bruce Arians of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all of a sudden decided to retire. They named Todd Bowles the head coach. He inherits damn good team, and he got like a 5-year deal already. So I'm not shocked by it. It's weird timing. Obviously, there were the stories, that came out mid last year, kind of talked about now, how there's a bit of a rift between Tom Brady and Bruce Arians. Look, I don't know if I believe it or not. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But Bruce Arians was getting the shit kicked out of him on the sidelines last year. The guy was in a brace every single game for some sort of injury he somehow suffered. Whether I think he blow out his Achilles one year. Like,
yes,
he's an old man who's getting injured. It makes sense that he might decide, you know what? It's getting a little crazy for me. I need to take a step back. He's going to be in the front office. It's not like he's even leaving the Bucs. Todd Bowles probably looked at him and said, this is my time, and you deserve to be a head coach, which he does, and made the move right before OTAs, before the draft, so Bowles can kind of make those decisions. I get it, and I like it. I think it's a good move for him.
And he's been coaching since 1975. Like, it's not
he's old.
He's been doing it for a long time. I do think Brady was not helping his decision with definitely stay, Bruce. We'd love to have you for one more year, man. Come on. I don't think Brady was really trying to boost up the morale choice on that one. But no, I think Todd Bowles is a great replacement. I think it's exactly what Brady wants. Todd is a defensive guy. He's going to work on the defense. It's a similar situation as Bill, where it's like, well, Tom and Leftwich will take care of the offense and leave us the hell alone, and you just do the defensive stuff.
Byron Leftwich is putting himself in such a good situation because every year he works with Tom Brady, he's just going to be a top head coaching candidate. He's just going to wait until his time. Correct. Did he want the Jacksonville job? No. Why would you do that when you can coach Tom Brady again and then go out and get another job? Easy.
Oh, no. Do I have to do it again? Oh, shame.
Shit. I have to go hang out with the GOAT and let him run the offense.
And I look good for it.
It's like Eric Bieniemy, but this guy will actually get a job. And I can make that joke. It's fine. Hey, you know what? I do. You love to see it, though. The Bucs, another minority coach. They've done it a bunch of times, basically more than the entire NFL. So seriously. Tampa Bay, you're doing something right there. Bowles deserved a job. I think he was kind of just waiting until he took his he found the right one, which this is the right one.
And he did good in New York. It's just the Jets, for some reason, think they're Super Bowl contenders every year and get mad at the coaches.
Yeah, that's Woody Johnson there. Oh, the point I wanted to make earlier, I was talking about how Bobby Wagner found out he got cut on social media. DK Metcalf came out today. There was some tweet. It was from one of those generic NFL pages where they talk about rumors and stuff, and it's legit. I think it's JBA or something NFL. But there was a report from Rappaport that said teams are interested and Seattle's listening to offers for DK Metcalf. And Metcalf comes out and tweets, I heard he hasn't heard anything from DK Metcalf. And I saw one tweet and I thought it was really good. It was just in the age where players are finding out whether they're going to be, whether they're getting traded or released on social media, I don't really buy that Metcalf has any idea what's actually going on behind the scenes. Probably will get traded.
It's all agent and GM stuff. I mean, DK's sitting there and I'm sure he's told his agent, here's where I'm okay going. It's one of these places I don't want to go. And then take it from there.
I'm still convinced DK Metcalf will be a Jet by the time the draft rolls around. He'll be a Jet or he'll be a Chief.
You're killing me, Andy.
I don't. I'm not saying I want it to happen. I'm saying I think that it will happen.
So we'll have in our division, I just want to clarify, we'll have Stephon Diggs. We'll have Tyreek Hill. We could have DK Metcalf. But we got Parker.
Gabe Davis, too. Don't forget him.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. That's right.
Yeah. So to wrap it up, a lot of stuff is still happening. And this is the dead period, if anything. It's just players making visits. It's great. There's still so much stuff. We just filled a half an hour with a random week in April.
It was a lot of important stuff. We haven't touched the rule change.
Oh, yeah. We forgot. Overtime. We meant to talk about this last week, and we just simply didn't. New rule, playoffs only. Each team gets a possession. Then it's sudden death as usual. Bob, what were your thoughts?
I think it's stupid. I really think it's really, really effing stupid. And here's why. Here's 2 reasons why. Okay. Firstly, when the new rule was introduced the first time. Okay. So when you have to score the touchdown to win a game or field goal to get the ball back. Okay. 7 out of the 12 times that there was an overtime with those new rules, there were 12 total overtimes. The team that won the coin flip won 7 times. So the other team won 5 times. 7-5 is pretty effing close to 50-50. Are we cool with that? We agree?
Wait, when was this?
No, so since the original rule changes, so back after the Patriots beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, and they changed the overtime rules the first time to make sure.
They changed it then? I didn't even know that.
That was the original first time it got changed because all the Chiefs fans went out there and bitched and moaned because Pat Mahomes didn't get the ball back. And, made a big effing deal about it. So that offseason, they changed the rules the first time.
What did they change it to?
That was when they changed it to scoring a touchdown wins the game still. But if you kick a field goal, the other team gets the ball back. Because originally it was just if you score, you win.
Oh.
Which was the dumbest thing in the world. That I agree. Now here's my second piece that I have a bigger problem with. You've gone back to the original situation because now, Team A wins the coin flip. They go down the field, score a touchdown. Team B goes down the field, scores a touchdown. Now Team A just needs to kick a field goal to win the game.
I thought it was field goal and you're still good. I don't know. I hate NFL overtime.
No. So the current rule is regardless, the team's going to get the ball back. Okay? So even if you score a touchdown, if you kick a field goal, Team B is going to get the ball back. Now they have to either match a touchdown or if the first team scored a field goal and didn't score, Team B scores a touchdown, they win. Right? Easy math.
Yeah.
The problem is if it's touchdown, then touchdown, Team A gets back the third possession, and all they have to do is score. So they can just kick a field goal at the 30-yard line or whatever and win, which is the original issue with the original overtime rules. Because it's I understand that the game has to end eventually, but you've taken a step backwards in my opinion.
I think the main point here is until we get college overtime rules, there is simply no correct answer to NFL overtime. Now, I think this is a step in the right direction. I'm not saying it's a solution, but at least there's a little bit more justification for, say, the Chiefs beating the Bills in the playoffs if Josh Allen at least gets to score a touchdown in overtime. At least he gets to do that. It's a little bit better. It's not an answer. College overtime is the only answer that will work.
I'm a big proponent of it's a multi-facet sport. So there's offense and there's defense.
It's not anymore, though.
Yes.
It's not.
So let me ask you this. How about this? All right. Before that, for the Bills and Chiefs game, right? For that Bills defensive possession, okay, you had what? 12, 13, 14 other chances to stop them in the original 60 minutes of football, and he didn't. Okay, so why do we get to put in special circumstances on that final decision?
I completely disagree with this statement.
That's fine.
I hate that people use this as an excuse.
It's a good reason.
If you're going to overtime, the rules need to be even. You need to use the amount of time. The fact is, if it's in regulation, I don't care that you had a bunch of different chances to stop it. You had the same amount as the other team because they gave you the same amount of opportunities and you gave them opportunities. This is literally the clock just suddenly stopping on your opportunity, which I don't agree with. There's no right answer here. College is the only answer.
How do you get more fair than a coin flip? Because I hate when people say, well, it's decided by a coin flip. Yeah, 50-50. It's pretty fair. Because, let's say the first team pretty much is always going to win.
Because the majority of the time the coin flip is won, you win the game.
Yeah, so the Bills had just as much chance to win that coin flip that decided the game as the Chiefs did. The Chiefs didn't have an advantage in the coin flip.
Yeah, they have an advantage because they won the coin flip, which is something that no amount of football skill matters.
So how would you decide who gets the ball first then? Like you give me
I don't care about who gets the ball first. That's not the biggest deal. The fact is, you need to give the teams equal opportunities to score if you're going to suddenly cut the clock off at that point, or you play out the full damn quarter. I'd almost rather them just play the 10 minutes.
You could. I mean, I know I don't
I'd be
spend too much
fine with
time on
that.
it, but a thought, thinking of a similar situation as soccer with goal differential, you could automatically award the team that gets the ball first, whoever put up more offensive total yards in the game, to incentivize, scoring, getting yards and scoring and everything.
Yeah, no, I mean, that could work. Look, again, if it's not college, it's not the right answer. You start at 25, you score. And if the other team can't score, you win. If the other team does score, you got to score again. The only thing with that is, I think I was going to say the fantasy.
Go ahead.
We're both just off right now. So I'm going to finish my point, then you say your point, and then we're going to do all these division predictions. I was saying the only thing with the college overtime rule is that fantasy football community would probably freak out, because if my guy goes to overtime, I have a chance for Josh Allen to throw 7 more touchdowns. So I would come up with contingencies for that, and I would say in your own league, I would be like, maximum 2 overtimes worth of points. That's it. You don't get any more or something like that. Game just goes on. That would be my only thing. The only thing that I could see being. Now, obviously, timing issues too.
You might just have to cancel overtime points altogether.
Might have to. Maybe 1 or 2, just to make it fun. You got to incentivize it a little bit. But anyway, I don't know. There is no correct answer except for college.
I agree. It's currently stupid. It's stupid before. There's no right answer, because no matter what happens, let's be realistic here, Andy, with the new rules, whatever team ends up losing, it's going to be the same song and dance of, wham, we didn't get a fair chance. Wham. That's all it's going to be.
We will bitch. We will always bitch.
All right. You should have heard Bills fans this past summer after the whole thing. It wasn't fair that Josh Allen didn't get the ball back. Man.
I mean, I agree with them. But anyway, let's get to these divisions, because I think this will be a fun exercise. So, obviously, we've talked a lot the last couple of weeks about the moves that have gone on. What we're going to do is I'm going to go division by division in each conference. We're going to talk about basically how we see the standings shaking out. Who's going to finish first, who's going to finish fourth, and so on. We'll go through each one, kind of compare notes, and then, give you our 7 playoff teams for each conference, kind of see where we're at. I'm not going into records yet because it's just too early. Don't have the, I don't want to see the actual schedules come out, how those look. And obviously the draft could have an impact on this, but I think this will be a fun one, Bob.
I agree as well. What division would you like to start with, Andy?
Let's start in the AFC, and let's start with the East, because let's just have some fun with this one. What I've got the Bills finishing first. I don't think that's a surprise based on kind of how we've talked about them this offseason. Second place, I got Miami. The Tyreek Hill deal is a huge move for me, along with Teron Armstead. I've got the Patriots finishing in third, and then the Jets coming in at fourth. That one was a bit of a toss-up for me.
Well, interesting, Andy, because I also the Bills winning the division. I'm not going to be too stupid about this. However, I have gone with the New England Patriots finishing second in the division. Devontae Parker, baby. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Parker. Give me Devontae all day, every day. Are you kidding me?
Here we go.
He's just going to go off. Watch 100 catches, 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, guaranteed in the New England offense. Guy's going to be running.
Can we get that down?
No, we cannot.
No. Say it again. Say it again.
Nope. So Mike McDaniel, brand new coach at the Duck Miami. Tyreek Hill, all exciting things. I don't trust Tua. I do not trust the lefty cannon. I just don't think he's going to show up this year. And I think they're going to have to make that move you were just talking about. And it'll be fun in 2023. We're talking about the revamped Miami Dolphins. But for 2022, I'm not scared of them. And then Jets will become a Jet. So I'll see you at the bottom.
You know what people forget? Tua started over Mac in college.
That's nice.
Tua was taken at a high.
I don't care about college.
Tua was taken at a higher draft slot.
And guess what? Tom Brady was the backup in college too. Okay.
Don't you dare compare any of these scum quarterbacks to the GOAT.
I'm just saying.
They're nothing but slugs compared to him.
College means nothing to me.
Anyway, Tua doesn't have to be.
Cardale Jones start over.
Dude, can I finish?
No.
Can I finish my freaking sentence? Also, Cardale Jones didn't start over anybody in that championship run. Everyone got injured. Braxton Miller got injured. JT Barrett got injured. Cardale Jones came in throwing 80-yard bombs.
Wait, that's right. He started over Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow was on that team.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, he won a championship. Just as many as Joe Burrow, so just saying. Anyway, want to get to my point. Tua doesn't have to do anything spectacular in this offense. Jimmy G nearly went to a Super Bowl last year and went to one a couple years before with Mike McDaniel's offense. Doesn't have to do anything spectacular. He has to get the ball to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and he doesn't even have to do it deep. The offensive line significantly improved to Teron Armstead and Connor Williams. That run game is going to work. They've added Mostert and Edmonds. They're probably going to add another guy because Miami and Mike McDaniel, you can't have enough running backs. And that defense is, I think it's better than ours. They got Xavier Howard and Byron Jones, and we got Jonathan Jones. That's like Byron Jones at home.
We got Judon, baby.
We got Judon. Great.
And
we have an interior lineman going into his second year, and we have Judon, who basically quit at the end of last year.
I got tired. And
he got tired.
Just your 49ers point, I'm not going to compare this Dolphins defense to the 49ers defense.
I didn't say to compare the defense. I'm talking about the offense only.
Well, you're saying Jimmy G got to a Super Bowl and you have to do much, but you didn't have to do much because the defense gave up 10 points a game.
Yeah, it helps when your offense is very quarterback friendly. I honestly almost had the Jets at third, to be honest with you. With what I think they can do in the draft, if they get DK, I don't know, man. I don't know if my prediction comes true. Like that could.
How about it doesn't, Andy? How about he goes to Green Bay where he's supposed to go and we call it a nice happy
Kansas City just to make fun. All right, we'll move on here. But all right, so we got the Bills finishing first, we got the Jets finishing last, and then we're flip flopping on the Dolphins and the Patriots. Let's do the AFC North.
You got it.
So I got the Bengals winning this again because I think Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are only going to get that much better. T. Higgins as well. You still have Boyd back. They brought in Hayden Hurst. I think he actually could step into C.J. Uzomah's role really well, and the offensive line got better. I got the Ravens second, and I'm saying this over the Browns. I feel like you were really high on them the other week. One, Deshaun's going to get suspended at some point. He's going to miss games. Two, hard to come back from a year off of football and be perfect. I don't expect him to be an all-pro this year. Three, I think they still need to add weapons. The Ravens just need to be healthy. That's it. Lamar is going to be playing for a contract. They'll get like J.K. Dobbins, Marcus Peters back, all these guys. So I think they're going to just significantly improve. And Rashad Bateman, I think, could be a stud. And then fourth, I have the Steelers. I just wanted to make sure I threw that in.
Apologies. Forgot there was a fourth team there that none of us care about.
Okay.
So for me, with the Ravens, I'm actually going to pick the number one. They were favorites going into last year for a reason, and then they just they had the worst training camp imaginable. They had probably 8 to 11 injuries, give or take, all year long gone.
They happened in like the same practice too.
It was only like a 3-day span. They had like 6 injuries. I'm pretty sure it was.
I think it was Gus Edwards tore his ACL, and then like 2 plays later, they said Marcus Peters tore his ACL, and then Harbaugh was like, "We need to shut this shit down immediately."
Everybody stop. So coming back, they have the MVP quarterback. Say what you want about Lamar. The man is a one-way wrecking ball. They have a very good team. They have a good overall team. They have one of the best coaches in the division. They just have a solid team, solid organizational structure. Similar to what you just said. They stay healthy. It's going to be fun to watch. Bengals, a little bit of regression happens to every Super Bowl losing team. All right. No matter how good you are, you regress a little bit when you lose Super Bowl. You spend a lot of games in the playoffs, spend a lot of extra energy. It was a little bit of a Cinderella run. Let's be realistic here. All right. Yeah. So there is a little bit weaknesses on the team. Eli Apple is one of those starting corners. All right.
Dude, Eli Apple, top 10 pick.
Yeah, sure.
Don't hate.
They added a lot of offensive line pieces, which was their main focus, yes, but not, they need to have it glue and gel together. I'm just not saying it's going to be bad. A little bit of regression. All right. They're going to make the playoffs still. Don't worry, everyone. Browns, everything you just said. Deshaun getting suspended, missing games, year off of football, all of that, I fully agree. Team, I think, is loaded, but it's a similar situation where what's happening to Deshaun? There's too many question marks in that one most important position, and you got to take from there. and Steelers going to steal it.
The Steelers are going to be the best 4 seed, though.
100%.
No doubt. 100%.
I
They're
give
going to
them
be competitive.
6-7 wins.
Yeah, no, easy. They're going to play spoiler for somebody because they still have a great defense. But all right, so to review, I've got the Bengals, you've got the Ravens winning. Flip-flop those, and then we both got the Browns and the Steelers finishing at 3 and 4. Let's move on to the AFC South. This is a boring one, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've got the Colts winning. I think Matt Ryan is a huge upgrade at quarterback over Carson Wentz last year. I've got the Titans coming in second. I know they added Robert Woods. That team's just getting older, and I don't know. I don't feel like Derrick Henry is going to bounce back as well. Still a competitive team, though. I got the Jaguars finishing third. They spent so much money. They have to get better. It's just a fact. Mainly, and the Texans are fourth because they are in the middle of the longest rebuild in history. At least they're heading in the right direction.
They did the big thing they had to do.
They did. They got 3 firsts for them, so they made it worth it.
Yeah, I won't spend too much time on this division either, but Titans over Colts, in my opinion, they're still the best team. Matt Ryan's great and all. Still a few pieces on the defensive side I'm concerned about, but I think Titans have one more year left in them. Derrick Henry's still a monster. He's going to run through the division. And then Colts at number 2, and then obviously Jags and Texans in similar situation.
Yeah, I do expect Lawrence to take a bit of a jump too. And I think one thing that I will point out is I know we're doing this pre-draft. I don't expect the draft to really change too many things here because we saw it last year. You have a Hall of Fame, potential quarterback in Trevor Lawrence taking number 1, and the Jags are picking number 1 again. So draft picks aren't going to make this ginormous change for your team. They're just not. I'm sorry. They'll make minimal ones. Like I said, could be like the Jets and the Patriots flip-flop one day, but it's not much. So to review the South, Bobby, you got the Titans. I've got the Colts. Each of us has the other one finishing at number 2. Jags at 3, and then the Texans in last place. Again, hate to see it. All right, the fun one, the AFC West. So we have some very differing opinions here. Also, the numbers that you have in this spreadsheet are really just messing with me.
Please don't. It's not my fault. I put them in, and then they changed it. So
I know. I'm not blaming you fully, but I've got the Chargers at number 1. I just think Justin Herbert's going into year 3 and going to take another step. And they added guys like Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, brought back Mike Williams. This team is loaded. Just arguably the most talented roster in the NFL. I got the Broncos at number 2. They brought in Russell Wilson. Maybe there's going to be some growing pains, but we've said it for a while. That team was a quarterback away from a Super Bowl contender. Now they have him, a great defense and a great receiving core, and Javonte Williams is an emerging star at running back. Not a lot to complain about. Here's where we get interesting. I have the Raiders finishing 3rd in the division, and that means that I have the Kansas City Chiefs, who just traded away Tyreek Hill, finishing 4th in this division. I said the Steelers might be the best 4 seed. I take that back. I have Patrick Mahomes finishing 4th in this division, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't know if they're going to be able to cover the offense that the Raiders have. Don't sleep on Derek Carr. You can argue he's a top 10 quarterback. He's got Hunter Renfrow, the best slot receiver in the NFL. Not up for debate. You've got Darren Waller, a top 3 tight end in the NFL. He's going to be healthy. And then you added Devontae freaking Adams, the top wide receiver in the NFL. The Chiefs are going to get the absolute crap kicked out of them in this division. They're going to win games, don't get me wrong. But how do you cover all these guys on a consistent basis with the pass rush that Patrick Mahomes is going to face? I know they beefed up his offensive line, but Orlando Brown Jr. is going to have a tough time facing Mack, Bosa, Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, Bradley Chubb, Randy Gregory. My God.
It's bad.
So, yeah, my bold prediction, Chiefs finish last.
Solid prediction, Andy. I didn't have the balls to do it, I'll tell you that. It is risky. So, for those at home listening, I will be going with the Denver Broncos as my top team in the division. And I'll get to why the Chargers will be second, but with the Broncos, you alluded to it, they were the quarterback away. And the Broncos have a history of having a loaded team and making one good quarterback move, come into the system, and have it work immediately. So thank you very much. And yeah, I think it's going to be just kind of the perfect fit. Russell's a good quarterback, obviously. He's a good locker room guy. Really no problems coming into the system whatsoever. It's obviously mile high. They have a home field advantage regardless of the situation for the team. And then they just have a really, really good team that's also really young. So this is going to be a team to come for years. Chargers are number 2 for me. And here's, you're going to hate this reasoning, but you want to talk about it just past 20 years loaded team that just can't get it done. It is the Chargers. They are cursed. I don't know what power above they pissed off, but multiple years we've seen them. They have great talent like last year, and they just can't get it done. Brandon Staley has an interesting.
That was a young team.
He has an interesting philosophy when it comes to his game planning that I think bit him in the ass a few times, and I think it's going to bite him in the ass again a few times this year. I'm not again
big old balls.
It's something like that.
They bit him in his ass. His balls bit him in the ass.
I just listen. They're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to make some key, decisive late game mistakes. That's going to cost them some wins and cost them the division. So they're 1-2, clearing away. One of the Chiefs third, like I said, didn't have the strength to do what you did. That still Pat Mahomes, still Andy Reid, still Travis Kelce. There's a lot of power on that team. And then for me, the Raiders, Josh McDaniels did not do great in his first stint as a head coach. So until he proves me otherwise, it's just such a loaded division. It's like, yeah, they're going to finish 8-9, but hell.
I'm going to make one quick point. Those fourth downs that Staley went for, half of them were drop balls. Just saying.
No, that's fine, but guess what?
Jared Cook catches the touchdown.
They don't have the confidence to catch it. That's something that's on you either way.
That's not. No. That's just bad play for your players, and that's why Jared Cook's not on the fucking team anymore.
That's why. That 100%.
There we go.
There it is. There it is. We brought it back home.
All right. So to recap, I got the Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, and then Chiefs last. You got the Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders. All right. We've gone through the AFC. Give me your playoff teams in the AFC, Bob. So we got 4 champions.
No particular order, correct?
No particular order. We just know who the division winners are, and then 3 wild cards.
Perfect. So AFC East will have 1, the Buffalo Bills. AFC North will have 2, the Ravens and the Bengals. The AFC South will have 2, Titans and Colts. And the AFC West will have 2, Broncos and Chargers.
All right. I've got the Bills and the Dolphins coming out of the AFC East. Bills with that division title. The Dolphins are the wild card. I've got the Bengals and the Ravens as well. Bengals taking the AFC North. Ravens with the wild card there. I've got the Colts coming out of the AFC South. I just don't think I think this is the division that everyone's going to kick the crap out of. So I only have 1 there. And then in the AFC West, I've got the Chargers and the Broncos making it. No, I didn't want to pick 3 teams in the same division. I thought about the 4. Couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. The Tyreek Hill if Tyreek Hill was still in the division, that would actually be a conversation that I would have. It would
be. If that, then I really wouldn't have enough. I'd pick my division winner, one of these 3.
Yeah. It would be a guess. All right, let's go to the NFC. We'll start in the NFC East.
Oh,
this is not going to be a fun division to watch. I mean, it's going to be fun because it's entertaining because they're all kind of bad in different ways. But I've got the Cowboys. They are still the class of the East, even though they got worse, in my opinion. You lost Amari Cooper. I want to point out, too, we got Devontae Parker for a 3rd-round pick. Amari Cooper is 2 years younger and went for a 5th or a 6th.
Contract.
Still contract, but come on.
He's $20 million.
Wild.
We couldn't fit him.
I know. I'm just saying it's wild. It's really wild. So I got the Cowboys finishing first. I got the Eagles in second, the Commodores from Washington in third, and the pitiful New York Giants, who are going for that 1 seed or 1 overall pick. I got them finishing dead last.
Yeah, not to waste time, so I have the exact same order.
Love it.
Only I want to say is other than maybe Bill, I think Brian Daboll has the safest seat of any NFL coach next year. They could go 0-16 and Daboll ain't getting fired.
No. They are playing for 2023 and 2024. when they get a real quarterback.
Eagles, I think, are going to try. They're just going to see what they get out of Hurts. And then, as you kind of mentioned, similar to the Dolphins, are loaded with stuff. Commanders, they just need to sell. They need ownership to sell. They're just going to be that wonderful 8-8, just like that middle tier team that's good, not good enough. Carson Wentz will win some games and lose some games.
They have talent. Like, that's the thing. They've got a pretty solid squad, but
it's Washington. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
No, and then Cowboys are best talent, best team. And then they'll lose in the playoffs if they always do. So,
of course. To the AFC North. Still got the Packers winning this division. I've got the Vikings finishing second, the Chicago Bears finishing third, and the lovable Lions, they're not quite there yet. They're still going to finish in last.
All right. Time for the one, Andy. Time for the one I'm going to piss people off because I am going with the Minnesota Vikings with the coming out of winning the division of the NFC North.
What?
I think it's going to fall apart. I think Rodgers, even though he got paid, they went, oh, here's your contract. Oh, by the way, the receiver they like, yeah, he's gone.
He knew it. He knew it.
And again, everyone, just to make everyone clear before they throw me under the bus like they did with everything else, I'm basing this off the current Green Bay team right now. So if they go out and get DK Metcalf, guess what? I might make some changes to my system here. But as of right now, yes, it's Aaron Rodgers. That offense does not scare me. I mean, I'm sorry. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon are a great 1-2 combo. But who's their best receiver on that team?
That's honestly fair, and I get why you did that. I'm not going to bet against the reigning 2-time MVP, 4-time MVP, I think, but like he's won the last 2. I'm not even selling on the fact that they're going to make a move, but I just don't see another team. They've owned the division for so long. I don't think Devontae Adams leaving is what puts them over the edge.
I would argue, though, the Vikings have a good team. They just needed the right coaching. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback.
They do.
We'll put that to rest. All right. They have a great receiving core. Justin Jefferson, one of the best in the league. Dalvin Cook is Dalvin Cook. They have a really good defensive piece. They have a good overall team. If they get a good coach in there who figures out what he's doing, that's a team that can win the division, especially with the Packers.
I think Kevin O'Connell's a smart offensive coach. They have to stay healthy. That's what they need to do.
So Vikings, Packers. Packers number 2 out there. And then I'm going with the lovable Lions at 3 because Campbell has that locker room. All right. Michael Brockers had a great interview last week talking about it. And like literally everybody's bought in on that team. Like it's the dude. Say what you want about it. It's similar to other sports though, where your head coach, your manager, the guy who's leading the thing, all he is a locker room guy. All right. He gets the guys to buy in. He gets the guys to love each other. He gets guys to work together. That's his job. Your offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, they can be the nerds who have all the fucking system gizmo wit snats in there to people what they need to do. But Campbell has got that team running. Lions at 3, and then Bears. They're you want to talk about a 2023 team? They're a 2023 team.
I get that. I think Justin Fields is going to take a step up, and I think he'll bring them up. They have a quarterback, and the Lions don't. That's the thing. Jared
Goff, sir. Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl, man, right here.
That's great. That's wonderful. Also, I love how you say Campbell. You really pronounce the Cam. I thought you said Campbell as in like a player for a minute, but I love it. You should keep doing that.
Hey, listen, he's a coach I'd play for, so
Campbell,
baby. And what's
he sounds like a D3 running back.
He did.
Georgia State Penitentiary.
I hate
Campbell. All right, so to recap, I got the Packers, Vikings, Bears, and Lions. You got the Vikings, Packers, Lions, and Bears. NFC South, this is chalk right here. We both have the same thing. I'm just going to say it for the sake of it. We got the Bucks winning the division. No surprise, Tom Brady back. We got the Saints, who will again have a very expensive roster with okay quarterback play as usual. The Panthers, number 3. Whether it's Sam Darnold or not, no one can be worse than the Falcons, who have nothing on that roster right now. The Fighting Marcus Mariotas.
Honestly, they might. What's the record? I guess like in New Age football for the lowest points per game scored, because I think the Falcons might actually break it.
They could potentially. That's why they've messed up this rebuild, man. You kept Matt Ryan 1 year too long. You tried to compete. You took a tight end at number 4 overall. Just not how you want to really fix a franchise. They are actually predicted for the lowest amount of wins in the NFL right now.
Oh,
they're going for that 1 seed. They are going for that number 1 pick. They'll have money to spend next year.
New age teams, it's the Raiders in 06 who averaged 10.5 a game.
Oh my God. Was that Jamarcus Russell?
No, that was the year before.
No, he was the year. Oh, that's how they got Jamarcus Russell. Wow, you sucked that bad, and that's what you get. Oh my God. All right. Let's get out of there. I don't even want to talk about the South anymore.
Randy Moss is on that team.
Oh, yeah, when he wasn't trying.
Right. Sorry.
And then we got him. All right, NFC West.
A fun one.
The way I've got it, we have this one the same too. So I'll just kind of go through. We got the Rams finishing first. We have the 49ers finishing second. The Cardinals finishing third of Arizona. And the Seattle Seahawks in the rebuild finishing fourth. Rams, I think they're too talented not to repeat. I like the 49ers, and I like what they're going to be able to do. And they're going to be a tough team. Great pass rush. Going to have an incredible run game. But, yeah, the Rams added Bobby Wagner. That's all I need to say.
The Rams added Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, that's all I need. It's all needs to be said. It's all needs to be added.
Yeah, it's stupidly loaded. The 49ers still have a really good team. Whether or not they go with Jimmy or Trey, that'll be the main key, but the rest of that roster is really good. If you want to talk about, similar to what the Broncos of the AFC were, where they have a great team that just needs quarterback, that's what the 49ers are. Forget Trey, forget Jimmy. Just if they could the dream scenario was the Tom Brady trade from Tampa, which never aspired, but
I would have bought that jersey immediately.
If they just had a good quarterback, they'd be whatever.
Hold on. They have a good quarterback. They have 2 good quarterbacks. I want to point out.
They had a great quarterback, excuse me. They had a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
And then
Trey Lance has that potential.
Cards with Kyler, they have some issues they need to figure out. Weakened team that kind of faked their way into a few extra wins last year, and then Seahawks. So,
yeah, and there we go. All right, playoff teams. You start with this one.
So again, just no particular order. Coming out of the NFC East is going to be just the Dallas Cowboys. I doubt any of those other ones will even come close to having enough wins, even with the crappy state division conference. Excuse me. Coming out of the NFC North, I have the Lions of winning the division. Still makes me check a little bit. And the Packers being a very close second. Coming out of the NFC South, I have just the Bucks because of the rest of that division. Which gives us a 3-team division making the playoffs out of the NFC West. Rams, Niners, and Cards.
I am not going to believe in the Cardinals this year. I've tried it. Just not going to do it. They're going to let you down. I will promise you that. I've got the Cowboys winning the NFC East. I've got the Eagles making it. They were a 7 seed last year, and I think they got better, and the rest of the conference got worse. So I think they're going to find their way in there. Out of the NFC North, I've got the Packers and the Vikings making it. Packers as the division champs. I think the Vikings will get in there. I think you made some good points. They are a good team. I'm still just not going to pick them to beat Green Bay. I just can't do it yet. I'm not there. NFC South, you mentioned it, the Buccaneers. I don't believe in the Saints. So just the Bucs. And then I've got the Rams and the 49ers. Rams as the NFC West champions. So the NFC, I think if you compare the two conferences, I'd rather be in the NFC right now. Just saying.
Yeah, 100%. Because the worst team, the best team out of that's probably be a close 9-8, maybe even an 8-9.
I was going to say, Super Bowl conference champions. Quick prediction. We didn't even talk about this before. I just want to off the spot, right here, right now. Dang. Who would you say out of the AFC and the NFC is going to the Super Bowl? Don't even give me a winner of the Super Bowl. I just want to know who you think's coming out.
So one team that could make the
Super Bowl matchup. Super Bowl
matchup. My Super Bowl matchup. Oh, that's a lot easier. I'm coming out of the AFC. I'll be picking the Buffalo Bills. I think it's their time. They loaded up. They're ready to go, and if they stay healthy, they're a pretty damn good team. And then coming out of the NFC, Oh, this is really tough because my heart wants one thing and my brain says another thing. I will be going. Ooh, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right, I've got the exact same thing as you, man.
Damn it.
It's the Bills. It's going to be Josh Allen and Tom Brady, and I am just going to be watching, like, how do I, like, spread the love I have for both? I don't understand.
I'd like to clarify that I don't think the Rams will do it because there's a reason it hasn't happened in 20 years.
It took a miracle comeback for them to beat the Buccaneers. They almost lost that game. Let's not forget that. I'm not betting on them to do it again. They're going to be good. Don't get me wrong. But if you tell me if I got to bet on Matthew Stafford or Tom Brady, and Tom Brady coming out of retirement where he's definitely like, all right, I'm ready to fucking go, I'm taking Tom. 100%.
Yeah, so fun. I was hoping to be different, but apparently I wasn't. So
no, we're pretty chalky picks right there. Hate to see it. Great show as always, Bob. We're almost at the most fun time of year. I think I'm just gonna come over to your place to watch draft.
You should, as long as you stay cool. That's all I ask.
All right, I might stay home. I don't know. Actually, this year.
When we go top 15 and we pass don't get them, I don't want you freaking out.
I will say, last year we could have gotten it was a quarterback draft, and that's, I think, it got the energy going a little bit. This year, now we just got to we literally just have to not take a player who sucks. And still, somehow, I'm probably going to end up in that route.
I was going to say, you're setting yourself up for failure.
I know. It's going to be like Patriots at 21 have traded with the Buffalo Bills, where they get Chris Olave, and we end up with Matt Corral to back up Mac Jones, and I will hang myself outside.
Chris Olave for Zach Moss, calling it now.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. No, I'm already having nightmares about that. But as always, Bob, it's a pleasure. We'll be back next week. I don't know what we want to do. We'll figure it out at some point soon. But
we'll figure it out.
Thanks for, I don't know, I say in the intro, sitting back, relaxing, and just, getting it with us. Viewers.
We appreciate it.
We'll come up with a better sign off. All right, let's get out of here. Bye.